That way we can start recording the message. And we go ahead and blow through this PowerPoint because I want you to be able to ask some questions. And as people come in, I want them to be able to ask questions as well because Mr. Corbin is very successful. Can you see my slides in Business Building 101?
Yes, I do.
Good. Because this is about Mr. Corbin right here. He's our guest speaker. And you see he's the CEO of the Corbin team. He has his own daily podcast. He got hundreds of members, international members as well, not just confined to the United States. And he's already did over $5 billion in sales. So this is a guy that knows what he's doing.
Awesome.
It's, you know, I think a lot of times we think that we're successful, but we're not successful until we have our own thoughts that what we think is successful and what other people think is successful is it's always a different thing, right? It's always push for more. I appreciate the intro and I appreciate you having me on.
No problem at all. I said I'm gonna blow through these slides real quick. For y'all that's catching this on the repeat or on the YouTube, I appreciate y'all viewing it, passing on to others. Knowledge is power. I want everybody to be empowered. Real simple. We're gonna discuss things you need to do, things you don't need to do when you start your business. One thing you need to do definitely is networking, building contacts. You need to find somebody that's doing something, doing the thing that you want to do, whether that's through mentorship, internship, internet groups. You know, there's a lot of content out there now. Like I said, Mr. Corbin has his podcast. We be doing these meetings every Sunday. Find somebody that's like-minded because you can be around people, your friends and family, and they have no clue what you're doing and have no aspiration for you to get anywhere because they stuck in their 9 to 5. But you as an entrepreneur need to be around other entrepreneurs that's out there, as I can take from Mr. Corbin, doing a daily grind and getting out there and making their business happen because only you can really make your business happen. And if you around other like-minded people to make that thing happen, that just be a boost and compliment to you. Also, there's already blueprints to success. I know us at Keller Williams, we get this nice little big old book for real estate agents. I'm getting back into investing, like I said, so I picked up another investing book. I already have a library of investing books downstairs, but this was the newest one that I saw, so I picked it up just to gain more knowledge because, like I said, knowledge is power. And the better you are at your craft, the more people will either A, invest in you and help you with your craft because nobody want to be a mentor and help somebody that's not motivated or not doing their homework. Or two, more people will come to you seeking knowledge for their craft, which gets your reputation out there, will make you a better success story in the end. Because the more people you help in the long run, the better is your success story, at least in my opinion. That's how it is. All right, so first thing as a business owner, you need to have need to know where your cash is going. There we go. Look at that. I pushed too many buttons at once. There we go. So need to know where your money going from 30, 60, 90 days and 180 days out. You need to know where your money could go. A lot of people, once we start, especially like real estate agents, once they get that first closing, that money goes to paying like personal bills and nothing goes back into their business, which is very much the wrong answer. Ms. Rita, you building a business that you really need to know where your money's going because, where your cash flow is coming from, because as a person that's, you know, doing people's heads and stuff, you need to know where your clientele is coming from. I want to ask you after this, just keep this in the back of your head. Do you already have clientele lined up for when you start your business? That's always a nice thing to know. For you, definitely location. For my agent people, your location is about where you go be farming at. And we would talk about farming when we talk about more real estate, centralized investing, but just know location counts no matter what you're doing in your business. And I put on there, forget about sleep, forget about family, forget about everything that you need to do except for getting your business going. I put that asterisk next to family because if your family does not support you, your business is not gonna go too far. trust me, I know I've been married going on 21 years this month. So yeah, my wife supports me. If she did it, I would not be doing this at all. Because that's what happened in the military. She told me it was time to go. I got out. So that's how that happened. Continue on with think about where your money going. Think possibilities. What's the next level? I know it's good to have that short-term goal, but we taught this in school. Short-term goals, long-term goals. Think possibilities. Think progression. Progression is another thing that people don't really consider. They like, I just need to get my business up and going and have people come into it. Okay, and now what? How you gonna keep your business going? How's it gonna become scalable? How you gonna continue to grow? You always gotta think progression. I put a couple examples down there by phone calls, flyers, advertising, just to get the word out. But you got to think of those things specific to your business, and also think without fear, because fear is the number one stopper. Mr. Corbin can tell you that. I definitely can tell you that. Yeah, fear will stop you cold. You like, I'm got this great idea for a business, and you would never do it. But then get mad because you saw somebody else do it, and now they live the dreams that you should have been living.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Think what's your niche in real estate, especially for my investors. You see multifamily and wholesaling, all that stuff. Ms. Rita, I know you already got your niche about taking care of people's heads, but what will bring them to you other than a person that's right down the street? And is there a person right down the street? If there's not a person right down the street, why is there not a person right down the street? Did someone come before you, try this business, and then fail, and now they're somewhere else? All these things you got to keep in mind when you're thinking about your niche. I apologize. Like I said, I'm trying to get through these slides kind of quick. We rehash this later on, though. Master your routine, Ms. Corbin. Please hit on that morning routine for me when you talk a little bit. But that thing, I didn't know how important it was until I mastered mine, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this makes my whole day better. Yeah. So you mastered that morning routine. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's I think there's been times going through my career just over the past year where I was trying to really figure out what my morning routine was. Mm-hmm. You hear a lot of people that they wake up at 4:30. You hear other people that wake up at 7 and they're all successful on their terms. For me, it's you have to start with one. What does your day normally look like? Are you going to be able to go to bed by 9:30 to get your 8 hours of sleep to wake up, by 4:30 or 5 o'clock? Mm-hmm. Is that going to be reasonable? For me, there was a good period of time over this past year where I was going to bed at probably 12 o'clock, waking up at 5, 4, a little bit before 5, and I was running myself into the ground. Was that necessarily running myself into the ground, or was I just being overly? One, I was not getting enough sleep. Two, I was not able to get. I wasn't. My brain wasn't working correctly, if that makes sense. Right. After a few months, you start getting to the point where you're like, this is not beneficial. This is actually pulling me back from where I actually need to be. Where I was taking naps in the middle of the day, when before I was not doing that. Right. But I'm up and I'm moving at 4:30, 4:55. So now it really came down to, for me, was figuring out what is actually going to be maintainable, but also pushes the boundaries just a little bit to where I don't feel comfortable 24/7. And so for me, that's waking up, whether it might be at like 6, maybe it's at 6:30. And it really depends. I base that off of what my day prior looks like. So if I am going to bed at 12 o'clock, then I need to be able to understand that I'm not going to be able to wake up. Or if I need to, obviously there's, sleep is important, is what I'm trying to say. But being able to go through, have a plan out. So if it's, for me, it's 10 minutes of reading, or 10 pages of reading in the morning. And then 10 minutes of maybe like some mobility stuff. So getting into like a squat, getting my body able to move, a little bit of, you would call it maybe meditation, but it's more of like a visualization of what my day needs to be. Right. And then obviously getting on through my day. So if it's, brushing my teeth, getting out, getting all the hygienic stuff out of the way. But that kind of pre-morning situation is very important for me. That sets your brain up, says, okay, look, we're doing this. We've already achieved, 4 goals, and it's not even 7 o'clock yet.
Yeah.
So
And
it does set you apart.
Yeah, it's all about setting your mind right for accomplishing what you set out to do. So you know you will get up at this time, you got up at that time. You know you was going to do this, this, and this, and you did that. It's all about getting that ball rolling in the right direction. Right. So that morning routine is key. Then you got to have your schedule. Your schedule is, oh man. It took me about 6 months to realize what a schedule was once I got out the military, because I was free. I didn't care about no schedule no more. But yeah, once I got into real estate, I had to figure out what a schedule was again. And once I had my morning routine and schedule down pat, my life got so much easier. So much easier.
It definitely enhances. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, waking up, doing your 9-to-5 job, and doing whatever you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But I can tell you, once you go into this entrepreneurship or business with yourself, there's no boss that says you're fired if you come in at 9:08. Exactly. And so having these 2 top things at the top here are very important. I mean, figuring out, okay, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock, I'm waking up at 6 o'clock, or I'm waking up at 7. Once you say you're going to do it, and then getting that schedule locked in for the next day, doing it prior the night before. Mm-hmm. That's a move.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to put in here was meetings, because people have meetings just to have meetings to figure out what they're going to do at the next meeting. If you're not having a meeting for future plans, then why are you having a meeting? A meeting is just to keep you on goal, to make sure we met this set, this and that set. When next time we convene, we make sure we met the set, and here's the next set. If you just have a meeting just to, I don't know, brainstorm, you brainstorm on Texas while you're still working, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, so our meetings are very schedule oriented. So my admin puts together a list of the things that we need to go over. And then in the beginning of the meeting, we say, okay, where are we at with our goals for this year? Then we run into, what's current, what's active, going through what we need to take care of. And then it runs into social media. Then it runs into everything we need to stay on goal. And then at the end, we hit just a couple different other things, that might need to be hit, but it's very much scheduled out. And if it's, I think if you're having a meeting, the meeting should be exactly what you said. Meet to figure out where you're at with your goal, because it's just a tick. It's like taking, you have a mission that you're on. You have a target at the end of that mission, and it's about making sure that along this ruck, you're staying in track with what you're doing.
That's right. So that's my last little tidbit on there. You run your life, so run it in a way that makes you happy. I mean, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I can tell you that. It is not for everybody. Some people are just locked in their ways, but everybody can be an entrepreneur if they're willing to do the hard work to make themselves successful. But like you said, there's no boss that's gonna fire you for messing up on your own job. It's all about you. So if you want this, you gotta want it. You definitely gotta want it more than me. You gotta want it more than Corbin. It's your business, so you have to want it and want it to work.
100%. And just going back to that last slide, having the schedule. I mean, if when we plan out on going on vacation, we have it from the time that we're leaving, from the time we're getting back, and everything we're doing in between there. Even if it's just set for relaxing. Yeah. You have your money planned out. All these things are planned out. So why would you plan a vacation like that that's probably going to be a week or a month long, but you're not going to plan out the next 60, 70 years of your life right now? You know what I mean? And at least have an idea. Yes. No one's saying it has to go along with it, but at least get some sort of a plan behind it. So
exactly. Yeah, it amazes me the phone calls I get, because I help other agents too. Just like you help me, I help other agents too. That's part of the thing that I just do. I just like helping other people, and it's amazing me the questions I get, and it's usually about a schedule or when I was on a team, we would have team meetings with nothing coming out that brought anything to fruition for us. I'm like, why are we having all these meetings and why are we doing all this talking and not action? You know me, I'm a Bible person. Faith without works is dead. You need to have action. You can talk a good game all you want to, but if you don't go towards that goal is not going to come towards you.
Right.
And last thing I had on here, things you need not to do. That's you do not need to quit on your dreams. It's going to be rough. Entrepreneurship is, oh man, it's hard to do. It's a hard thing to get going unless you do some really good planning up front, like we talked about earlier, who's your client base going to be, how your money go flow and stuff like that. Unless you have all that stuff in place in the beginning, just saying I'm going to go out here and do business is, it's great. You can do it. It just makes it so much harder. But as any business goes, as anything go in life, it does not go your way. Everything does not go as planned. So you need to be prepared mentally, physically, whatever. Have your happy place in mind when you start a business. So just when things do not go right, that you can, okay, why things are not going right, analyze it instead of, forget it. It's not meant for me to be. I don't know about you. I got so many buyers. I'm glad I'm a minister. I promise you I am. Because I always give encouraging words, but I find myself ministering to more people, especially my buyers, especially the ones relocating, because those are the hardest things to do. Relocating I got one coming from California now, coming from another state to way across to another state that's just like, look, it costs too much money to do this, it costs too much time to do that. You know what? I'm just going to sit and stay where I'm at because that's what I'm used to.
Yep, 100%.
So you cannot give up on your dream because it's your dream. Nobody's going to make your dream come true for you except for you. I can be here and tell you all the good things to do, but if you quit, then you just quit.
Yep. Have a plan, have a schedule, understand what you actually want to actually go for. I think a lot of people say that, they have a dream that they want to do something, but then in reality, it's nothing more than just a thought. And then what we hit on my podcast is a lot of tactical things you can actually do to start, making some extra money, or whether maybe it's not making extra money. Maybe you just hate your 9-to-5 or you just want to do something different. And a lot of people say, they get down on themselves or they complain about their situation when it's no one's responsibility to fix your situation other than you. And I think a lot of people run that mindset of, I want to do this, but the timing's not right, or, I've got kids, or I've got family, or whatever it may be. There's always an excuse not to start something, but you never hear people that started something and then achieved something that complained about
it. Man,
so that's just my thought. And I think you can either sit there and be in self-doubt or self-pity, but it doesn't fix the problem that you're in. And that's your responsibility as a human to go for what you want, because there's no one else that can do it for you. So.
Exactly. All right. And y'all know y'all can find me here. All my wonderful information. Mr. Corbin, tell them where they can find you at. Tell them about your podcast that you're got to get to and here shortly.
Yeah. So our podcast is on really anywhere you want to find podcasting, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on Apple. We're on, Spotify. Anywhere you listen, we're there. It's the Daily Grinders, but we shortened it up to the Grinders Podcast. And so that's the Grinders Podcast. If you search it on iTunes or anywhere, it should pull up. We have a lot of really heavy hitters on there that have run multi-million-dollar companies, from the company at First Form to, there's another real estate company in there. There's a bunch of different people that we've had on that have grown their business from ground to top. And it's a good way for you to get technical information and to be able to understand what's actually going on in that sense. So from answering questions about money, from answering questions about how to grow your business, that's what we hit on that. obviously I'm in real estate. But yeah, I think if anyone can get any kind of information out of this, I think it's going to be going to the Grinders podcast. I think that's going to be the key that I want to leave with you guys. Is there's a bunch of good information on there.
Awesome. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute. Well, unmute yourself if you have a question, because I had to mute people. There's too much stuff going on in the background. But unmute yourself if you have a question. If you don't know how to unmute yourself, just let me know. I will unmute you. Oh man, nothing. Man, making $5 million a year, you ain't got one question for him? Like how to make $1 million in your first year? Nothing.
Hello.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, I don't really have a question because I have questions. I just don't know what questions to ask.
Okay.
So, in starting out with owning your own business, like just to kind of do the footwork as far as researching and things, just kind of, if somebody can kind of advise on steps just to be able to start a business. I came in a little late. I came in at like 3:10. But yeah, those are just pretty much just advice, I guess.
Okay. So do you have an idea of what you want to do? I guess is the main question.
So right now, I have a natural body product line that I came out with roughly 2 years ago. So I'm starting that. I have a couple things I want to do, but I have to do one at a time. So basically what I've been doing is just researching different products, different things, ingredients and stuff like that. So just to kind of get out, I hate social media. I really hate that. I'm more so of a person. I want to be in your face, kind of telling you about it. I'd rather do like little pop-up parties and things like that. But just advising on that. Also, I want to do my own home care service, providing nursing care to patients. So I haven't started that one yet, but
Okay.
It's kind of getting footsteps, I guess, to it.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, my first thought is, why do you hate social media?
Probably most likely because I really don't know how to use it. So and I probably would know how to use it, but it's just so time consuming. I'm like, when I see myself, like I'm getting on there and it's like I really get distracted. So it probably would be good once I really get into it and kind of know how to operate it. But it's like, if it don't, to me, I kind of will be like, if I don't really get it right off the back, it's like, forget it. I'll go for what I know. So,
and okay, so and I'm all about playing with your strengths and playing towards your strengths, and obviously, everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and if you're strong at something, that means you're better at it for you. For me, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't focus on your weaknesses at all. If you're not the type of person who wants to be in front of a camera, or if you don't want to, whatever it may be with social media, you say you don't know how to work it. For me, what you can do is simply go to Google and just going through a few things. Go to YouTube and just type in how to use Instagram for growing my business. I mean, there's so much free information for you to be able to actually get into it that that's more of an excuse than it is a hindrance, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And that's important, because as long as you can fix that problem and say, hey, look, I don't like social media because I'm not good at it. Well, how I can get better at it so that I can actually love social media, in the sense of having the discipline that when you do go on there, use it for business.
Right.
Or if you're, going on it on a personal scale, go for it for, say, hey, look, guys, I have these wonderful products. And if you are confident in your products, you deserve to be able to give those out to the people, right? And if social media is able to get you that way to the masses, that those two are just equal. So I would, you know, kind of, I'm going to cuss here. I'm going to say, call yourself on your bullshit and push forward on the sense of like, if you honestly feel that your stuff is good and that you're confident in yourself and in the sense of like you service a good product, then there's no excuse why you shouldn't be on social media blowing that stuff up as well as giving it to people in person. I think both of those things. But I would start there, push for that, and just get better and make it a goal. Like by the end of the month, I want to be able to make 2 posts on social media about my products.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So now I do have another question. So I just relocated from one state to another. So how do I get it in this new state? How do I get it to where, you know, I can kind of make it known here?
Yep.
Honestly, cool. I've been working so much, I haven't been able to really get out. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to, at least by the end of the month. But how do I get myself to where I advertise it here? Like, how do I find different events going on to be able to go from there? Okay.
So this is something that I've used in my business personally, and that's helped me kind of grow it. I use a 5-foot rule, and it's going to be 2 things. The 5-foot rule is more so if you're 5 foot around me, 9 times out of 10 you're going to know what I do. And when I was, that's a very good way to be. But if you're not that extroverted person, then that's fine. You can do it in another measure. You can start your own podcast, or you can start something like this, or even just being here that shows you that you're able to be connected with other people. But something that I've found that works really well with tying your business into other people is, do you have like a hobby or something you're passionate about?
Yeah, I used to think so, but I don't know. I really want to get into what I'm really passionate about. I really want to get into like holistic healthcare. So I've been dibbling and dabbling in it, but I really want to get into that. So that's where some of the body care stuff comes from.
Right. Okay. So if you had something, you know, outside of the healthcare or outside of your business, what would be like the ideal hobby? Would it be, you know, charity work? Would it be going on a hike? What is your thing?
Dancing.
Okay, that's cool. So then what my suggestion would be is you just relocated to a new place. I would find the local place to go dancing, whether, you know, whatever dancing you like to do, or if you want to start doing some salsa dancing or whatever it may be, find a local place and start going to that place, whether, you know, for lessons, whatever it may be.
Okay.
And get some cards made.
Right.
You know, get some products. And then so when you go and you're getting ready to go do your dancing, you know, whether you're making lotion, whatever you may be doing, make sure you pull a bottle out, you know, use it, or at least have your cards somewhere where people can ask you questions.
Okay.
And it's a lot easier, I found, for me, because I'm not a super extroverted person, but I'm okay with talking to people. But for me, it's a lot easier if someone asks me what I do, or what if I could tie it in somehow. So for me, hobbies is you're around people that are doing the like-minded thing. Okay. So it's a lot easier to say, hey, look, boom, you know, we like dancing together. And in addition to this is what I have on my side, or this is what I'm doing. And that way you're kind of able to open up a conversation without it being so head to head.
Okay.
So that would be my suggestion on that. I said that would be my suggestion is definitely find a local place to go dancing and just start doing that, and then open it up to other people.
Right. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Anything else?
I think that's it for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime I can help.
Mhm.
All right. Anyone else before he goes? Because like I said, he has a podcast he needs to do as well. So he's going from one social media to the next social media. So anything else before he takes off? 'Cause I don't want to hold him up. Going once. Going twice. All right, well, if you think of anything, just let him know you can just let me know, or you catch him on his social media page. He's on Facebook, Instagram, and like he said, he's doing his podcast. So you catch Mr. Corbin at any time, any place. Just don't blow him up too much. Because he got hundreds upon hundreds of people that he actually helps. So, he'd be happy to add you to the number. Of course, I'm always here to help you out. We'll keep this journey going together. So again, Mr. Corbin, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. You are a blessing, and I hope that you continue scaling your business. I know you're already over 5 million. What's your goal for this year, by chance, if you don't mind me asking?
So actually, last year we did 8 mil, and so
Okay.
we were shooting for 12.
Okay.
And this might actually tie into this somehow, but we were shooting for 12, and I made one bad hire this year. And so we were having to really search for people, and it pulled me away from my business. And so we actually fell back to this 5 million, almost 6 million. So we were shooting for that 12 numbers. We almost halfway. But we're behind from last year. So it's one of those things that once you do start to get your business going and you start making those first few hires, it's crucial to make sure these people are they're on the same team as you.
Exactly.
And so that's the only thing. That's the only thing that we did fall short, and we're taking ownership of that. And next year we will hit that 12. So.
Right, because you never know who the person's gonna be. Once they show their true colors, though, you got to be able to cut them loose. This is a business, and it's your business. So however you want to do it, Mr. and Mrs. Entrepreneur, you want to hire your best friend, your cousin, them, and all that. Yeah, just make sure it's a business, so you can let them go, especially if they make your business go backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Fail quick and move faster.
Yeah. What they say? Fail quick, fail forward,
fail often.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
that. Often, something like that. I know 3 of them, but for me, it's just lessons learned. I'm like, oh, I messed that up. All right, keep going. Oh, I messed that up. Keep going.
That's right.
So,
cool.
Yeah, that's not messed up.
my social media, again, is Addison Corbin on everything, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, and you can find me there and ask any questions you need.
Can you spell that? Because I did. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. So it's ADDISON.
Mm-hmm.
And Corbin is CORBIN.
Okay.
You got it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you said it's what? At what?
So it's just at Addison Corbin on Instagram, and then Facebook it should just be Addison Corbin. You'll see my face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we try to keep it simple. And that's another lesson for y'all right there that he just told you. Try to keep it simple. And you want your social media to relate to you. You don't want it to relate to you and somebody else. You want it to be to you. So use your name. Not too many people have your name.
That's right. But yeah, any questions you want from there, you feel free to shoot me a DM or whatever it may be. Shoot me an email too. I'm good with that too.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Like I said, we will revisit, for everybody else, we will revisit this slideshow again, and I'll take my time. But like I said, the man, the myth, the legend, he got other things to do. So we'll cut loose for today. I appreciate y'all coming out. Again, and I'll post this on social media. And I should just shoot y'all the link where y'all can send it to other people that y'all know need this help, because it's one thing to have the knowledge, another thing to share the knowledge. So I want y'all to share the knowledge, empower other people to do the things that, bring success and happiness, because, there's enough out there for everybody. So we all can be happy together. All right. Appreciate you, sir. I will see you in the office. I will see you in your corner office. I'll try to go all the way there, when I'm in the office more often.
Yeah, man. It's always good to see you.
All right, now take care, and y'all take care. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all next meeting.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Mhm.
I appreciate you, man.